Make America blonde again. I vaguely recall.
Did y'all see this? They're just getting bold. But my thing is, say it with your chest. Don't say make America blonde again. Say what you want to say, make America white again. The only thing is, it was never white. It was never white. I don't know how you all try to rewrite history. You are nothing more than colonizers. And for the life of me, you Latinos for Trump blow my fucking mind on standing. You aligned yourself with this shit. Make America blonde again. Where do you brown people fall into that? Where do you fall into that? You aligned yourself for an embarrassment.
You will never be white. As much as you, a fellow Latino, wants to be in proximity to whiteness, you will never be white. You will never be chosen in that way. As much as you think that you are better than undocumented Latinos because your family came here the right way, or because you're second generation or third generation, or because you either forgot or unaware of the foundation of this country and the fact that immigrants from Europe came here, stole the land from indigenous people, and then literally stole people, and forced them to be slaves, forced them to do labor. So when you think that you want to be in proximity to whiteness because you consider yourself better, think about that.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning.
Well, right? I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, if it wasn't for that,
yes,
there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this
country. Thank you. So. And what I have been trying to teach the Asian community is like, friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with black blood?
Yes.
Right? And the fact that you don't recognize that shows you how much you take this for granted and how much you don't care about the future. Because
yes,
if you understood this, you would be grateful for their sacrifice and understand what they have gone through for you to have rights.
He wants a white country. No, he really does. Believe me when I tell you this. Hang on. You remember the census came out. And when the census came out, it showed how the white race was going to be a minority within a couple of years. He wants a white race. This is why he wants to go after Canada, because Canada is primarily white. But here's the crazy part. Remember, back in March, dude put an invitation out to the Africanos, those were the white South Africans, to offer them some form of asylum to come to America, and wants to use some type of trickery to say, okay, cool, you guys were mistreated so wrong, so I want you to come to America.
If you don't see that what this administration, what these people are trying to do is get rid of all of us.
Oh, yeah?
I said it before, not just Latinos. They're trying to get rid of anyone who does not fit the narrative of their white America. ICE has now $40 million more to contract Proud Boys, KKK members, anyone off the street that has hatred for our people or people that are not like them. Wake up, people. Wake up. This is serious. We have to stick together in these times. We cannot fold under the pressure of this government. They are trying to create an all-white America.
The very ethos of what Trump is running on and what MAGA feel.
You know, what nobody wants to talk about is you lose the racial demographics in your country. Is it wrong for a person in our country to want a country that's majority white? Is that a wrong thing? And if you replace the native populace with people from other countries, that is going to change that culture. So it's...
America is a country that was founded by migrants.
Was it though? I mean, who are the founders? They were white Americans that came over here and then...
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. As God gave us this country, our founding fathers fought and died for this country. Generations of Americans have sacrificed and bled for this country, and we are not going to let the radical left, the communists, and the America haters take our country. It's not going to happen. Not now, not ever.
Hello lovelies, welcome back to today's episode. It's quite funny to see how these Latinos, after find out that they've been scammed, they've been fooled, the way they convinced them to come out in a big number to support this new administration to come back in office. Now, after realizing that it was all about to use them, they are pissed, they are losing it. They finally found that the only thing right now they are trying to push is to bring back that white supremacy, and these Latinos, they don't belong in that group and they will never belong in them. Now they are pissed, like we've been used. Why they lie to us? No one ever lied to you. You've been ignorant to know your roots. You think that pushing away black people, doing your anything possible not to associate with them, it will bring you that white privilege. But you should always think one thing. Without these black people you are seeing right now in America, you wouldn't even have this enjoyment life you are having as a migrant in America, because each and everything, each and every right you are having right now, it was from black people during civil rights movement. It's where each and everything started for migrants to have right to stay in America. But whenever you see black people, you see them as the enemy, you see them as a trash. Let's get to hear these different content creators, the way they are talking about it. All credits belong to original creators of this video. Let's watch them, drop your opinion, then we'll come back with more commentaries.
What's up, Latinos? How's it going? You liking that vote? How's it working out for you? Yeah, we told you. We goddamn told you, didn't we? You thought, you thought that guy was going to keep his word to you. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Do you need to see a doctor? He told 30,000 lies. He mocked disabled people. Remember January 6th? Didn't care about that, did you? Didn't care about the racism and having dinner with Nick Fuentes and not running to black people. Yeah, he's just going to get rid of the bad people. Well, you voted for the bad people. You thought a convicted felon was going to uphold the law and deport the bad people? Yeah, who did he pardon on January 6th? That's right, the U.S. citizens, the white people. Who did he import from South Africa? The white people. Who did he pardon in Nevada who stole money from a police officer's fund? A white lady. How about the guy that sold $75,000 worth of badges and deputized people? Oh yeah, he got pardoned because he's white. How about Charles Kushner? Witness intimidation, tax fraud. Oh, that's right. He got pardoned because he's white. Do you still run out to the mailbox every day? Do you think there's a membership card coming? Is that what you think is going to happen here? This guy wants to keep America white. We told you that a time and a time and a time and again. And you bought into the bullshit, the propaganda. The libs are coming. The libs are coming. Antifa. Oh, look, this city's on fire. Oh, your way of life is going away. We told you.
Mr. Black again. And if you're here, you're part of the underground. So, I'm here to tell you right now, as you look at the policies of the Trump administration, if you truly believe that these policies are not based in racism, you're a fool. As you have the dismantling of the Department of Education, this is to stop lower income, and particularly minorities, from gaining access to education. As you see government websites removing all sorts of historical firsts of people of minority. Any celebration of minorities is prohibited from the government. the 200 plus words that have been stricken, which include things like black, you're foolish. If you don't believe and understand that this is an effort, that MAGA is the new Confederate flag, that MAGA is the new 3K hood. If you're supporting MAGA, you're supporting racism. You may not think you are, but you are. And if you're an African American, if you're part of that 22% of black men that voted for Donald Trump, you're foolish. MAGA is an attack on American virtues, American tradition of empowering people, of continuing to grow. MAGA is the retardation of American values. MAGA is bedded in pure white nationalism. It is for mediocre white men. And we have to oppose this.
I've been getting tagged all day. This is nothing new. Mexicans have always come to the rescue and have never been given credit. Why? I've been getting tagged all day. It's 10:59 p.m. Y'all know how this goes. They weren't given their credit because they're Mexican. This country only want to highlight Mexicans for criminal activity or deportation methods. They don't want to highlight them for nothing else. Do you really think they was going to put that in the media, that 2 Mexican young ladies saved those girls, the 20 girls that were in Texas in the flood and all of that? No, they couldn't let that information hit the headlines because that would cause you to view Mexicans in a positive light, which this country is so fixated on not doing. Are you really surprised? Or are you really surprised? And what that means is, are you surprised that they're Mexican, or are you surprised that the media in America hasn't said nothing? Maybe you're surprised at both. The bottom line is this: if it's anything positive, it's not going to get put in the media because whites can't take the credit for that. They would have rather seen 2 white teenagers rescue those young ladies from the flood, but because they were Mexican, they don't want to give that credit.
These people, after find out they've been fooled, they can't even take it. You need to take it because you are supposed to know, to hear each and everything they are explaining to you during Ladi. They never hide anything. When they talk about Ideology, you never wanted to hear anything. When they talk about mass deportation, you never wanted to hear anything about it. And they mean it, what they've been telling you. Now, see, they are constructing an Agatha to be taking you there. Now you are saying, oh, they are going to deport all of us. They are after each and everyone. They may be after each and everyone, but they never hide anything. When you see them saying they are going to deport these Haitians, if you know very well the history of Haitians, they are descendants of Black Americans who refused to keep being held as slaves in America. They escape that slavery and go on that island. That's where this Haitian we are seeing came from. But some people don't know that Haitians, they are related to Black Americans. They don't want to hear something like that because they are ignoring the history. But whenever they say that we don't want Haitians, some people, they want to celebrate that, oh, they should go back to their home country. No, you are the same.
It was never about deporting criminals. It was always about racism. And for the Latinos that don't understand this, that are like, well, I did it right. Well, my family did it right. It doesn't matter. They don't like you. You will never be one of them. Right now, you are useful and beneficial. But once they no longer need you, they're coming for you. They're coming right now after citizens. They're coming after children. They're coming after people who have a status and are going to immigration court. They're breaking every single law, and they are doing it without due process. They are just deporting people. If you look a certain way, if you have a certain tattoo that they think might or might not, you're out. You're out. If they could deport me, they would. That is why they say that the worst enemy of a Latino is another Latino. It is us. Because I do not need to be in danger of deportation to know that what is happening is wrong. It doesn't need to specifically apply to me for me to fight for the rights of those who cannot fight for themselves. it's not about me versus them. It's about what they're doing to us. They are attacking our community, and they are pushing that line further and further to see how much they can continue to get away with. And they are expecting for us to be desensitized and for it to become the norm and for us to not fight back anymore.
The misalignment of what it means to be white in America and the fact that they never were able to attain wealth in what is considered their country, and pinning minority presence and success against poor white people. And it's sad because if I was poor and white, I wouldn't blame other people for my predicament being in a country that was made for us. But it seems to be working. And that's why we have a rise in white nationalism, because for too long now, these people feel as if they've been pushed to the side, irrespective if it's other white rich people pushing them aside and making their conditions their conditions. It's easier to blame us because we're closer in proximity. It's also, as a black person, insane to me that in this country you can have a 400 or 500 year head start and still be poor, whereas very small percentages of black and brown people are successful. There are more educated black people than there've ever been. Black women are holding higher secondary degrees than anyone else. Asian Americans are some of the most educated people in the world, and the list goes on. But for you to be centuries old poor in a country that you were told was for white people, and to have minorities be the ones that you see on TV, or you see in movies, or you see driving cars, or they're athletes, and it really makes your blood boil that you are not able to attain these things. So this is the premise that you run on, and to maintain that premise, you lock up migrants, you do a campaign against immigrants, you call them rapists, you call them evil, you call them dirty, you round them up, and in those actions you make us poor white people feel vindicated. Yes, we're getting these people out of our country, because that's the only semblance of power they have, right?
Congratulations, MAGA. Your vote for Trump is the reason why senior citizens will be kicked out of their nursing homes. Before you flood my comment section screaming fake news, I'm going to provide some verifiable facts. Google's free. You can go look at the bill. 60% of nursing home residents rely on Medicaid to cover their care. That is a fact. And Trump's new tax plan, it cuts their provider tax by 41%. This slashes how much support states receive from the government for nursing homes. That's a 41% funding cut. That is a fact. The American Healthcare Association says that 1 in 4 nursing homes could shut down and half of their staff will be eliminated. That's a fact. So where do these senior citizens go? Some might have family to take them in, but for others, this is the end of the road. There's no place for them to go. This is what your vote for Trump is doing. It's pushing vulnerable seniors out of care and onto the streets. And that is a fact. This isn't America first. This is our elderly last. If you voted for Trump, you made this happen. I hate to say it. This is on you.
When you try to see these things of mass deportation, it all started these eyes looking for especially Latinos. Everyone was saying if you are Latino, you are no longer safe. But when you try to see as days goes by, everything started to change. They started to go to each and everyone. They started to mistakenly taking American citizen. They started to take these people in El Salvador. No one even ever think that something like this would happen. But after things got worse, you have seen how a lot of Latinos came out online to say, please, we want black people help. You need to come out to help us. You need to come and say something. You need to rise up your voice. But when you try to go back, a little back in years, these Latinos, their history, their roots, and the way they've been coming in America, it's quite imbalancing to see them. After settling in America, the first enemy they see is Black Americans, is Black people. They try their best level for them to be looked like white people, like they belong in a white supremacy. But when you try to see this system right now, their agenda, their project, whatever they are trying to do, they are trying to do mass deportation as much as possible, because it was mainly their first part of their project. But these Latinos instead discover that this is something which is serious right now. They kept fighting Black people. They kept ignoring them. They kept go behind them, saying anyhow they want. They kept being anti-Blackness. They kept showing that level of hatred, of racism they have toward them. Whenever someone approached these Latinos, they try to cause quarrels so that they show these Black people that they are useless. But the funny things, these Latinos always forget that these Black people you always push away, at least for them, they have the right to stay in this American land. At least for them, they've been born there, they belong there. When we are trying to see how this time around they are pushing this project to bring back this white privilege, white supremacy, because how come would you explain mass deportation has caused a lot of farmers to go bankrupt, restaurant, hotels, construction site, no one ever seeing any workers this time around, everyone is crying. How would you explain this time around they are trying their best level to put a lot of money in this mass deportation? I think it's because they are trying to reduce this number of migrants in America. If you have heard Stephen Miller's speech, he said, our ancestors fought a lot for this country. They lose their life to get this country. We will not allow anyone else to come and take it from us. Do you hear that word? They are trying to say this American land is a languages much less this time around. If we don't be careful, if we don't do whatever we promise to do as a MAGA, we may lose this battle in the coming future. We may find us as minority. No one would do, everyone would even fight us. No wonder you are each and every time mass deportation is on high level. And these Latinos, instead of looking Black people and saying that at least we've been fooled, these people lied to us. They never had intention to consider us as a white people. They never had intention to put us in a white supremacy. Now, you are pissed. You are crying. You are blaming Black people that they are silent. They don't want to show you any sympathy. They don't want to come and be together with you. They don't want to raise up their voices to talk about your situation. But you forget that these Black people, they are the one who fought a lot for you to have this freedom you're having right now in America. Go back in history. Go and read in the civil rights movement how all these things you are seeing, this birthright citizenship you are having, most of you as illegal migrant, it all comes from this civil rights movement. That's how they finally agreed to give this birthright citizenship. Instead of you to be grateful to Black people, you always see them as a trash. You always see them as useless. You always call them any kind of names. Now see, sometimes I don't understand how would the people being fooled by the history and choose to side one side of the history instead to stand in the middle and keep running what is right for them. Now see the results. There is the alligator. You are going to be taken there. You are going to be sometimes to be disappeared, because this time around they are saying if you don't want to self-deport, you are no longer safe. Now you see, you have seen this Asian man try to explain each and everything that these people, he couldn't even understand why these three communities, they don't want it to unite together. This Asian American, this Black American, this Latinos. He couldn't even understand why there is always misunderstanding between these three communities. Instead of them being together and claim their right and claim America to be great for each and everyone, they are fighting, they are dividing, they are quarrel each and every time. Now you see, sometimes when you try to see these Latinos, we are not against Latinos. We are trying to explain so that people would understand the level of the mistakes they made, the level of damages they brought, which is causing each and everyone to cry, which is causing each and everyone to complain about this new administration. When you are a Latino, you know very well you are not a white people. Let's be clear, you are not a white people. Even though in your heart you feel you want to be like a white, or you want to belong in a white privilege, but for real, your history, there is no way we would find that Latinos came from white people. At least these white Americans, they are saying that they want to bring that white supremacy. According to them, they are saying, I would rather staying in a poor country, or I would rather staying poor as long as I stay in a white country. That's how this MAGA feel. That's how they believe. That's how they have that mindset for so long. They came out in a big number to support this system to bring back white supremacy. Even though each and everything is coming as a karma on them, but according to them, that's what they think. They think that they are fighting to bring their white light. That's what they thought. Even though they've been played by these big billionaires, but according to them, maybe that's what they convinced them. Thank you for watching today's episode. Drop your opinion in the comment section. See you in my next video. Bye.